Welcome back everyone, it's Lynn. So today we're going to go through building your high profit group. So we're going to go through and do some settings on the group. We're going to create a classy banner so it'll stand out and demonstrate your professionalism as well. Remembering we want to use attraction marketing, so it's really important for us to actually always present a professional image. So I would highly recommend that when we go through these slides and you start implementing the information as well, if you've got corporate colours or anything like that, or any branding or anything like that that you've got, to actually bring those colours and that branding also into your group as well. So it all looks really, really succinct. So I'm really excited today. Just grab a drink. It feels better. I'm really excited today because now we're gonna lay the foundation. We're gonna put everything in place there so that it's going to support you as you start to grow it, you start to expand it, and you start to be known as the community leader of an amazing tribe. I was looking on Facebook just recently, and there's a group out there, and they charge a $10 membership for the area of the group. And there's 250,000 people in that group, and I think it's about $10 membership a month or something like that. Can you imagine? They'll be earning $2,500,000 just by having a really, really good group. So, you know, there's a lot of successful groups out there. It's about having the right strategy and knowing, I suppose, what you will tolerate in your group and what you won't tolerate in your group as well. I found that my group changed a lot for re-engagement when I started to step up and be a leader, and I stopped being needy, and I stopped wanting my group. I expected my group to do more for me. I expected my group to engage. I expected my group to interact, and if they didn't engage and they didn't interact, then they wouldn't get the free resources that I give them until they did that. So that was something that I've noticed just doing in the last 3 weeks. It's increased my engagement 450%. So you need to really set the precedents. You need to set the boundaries at what you will accept and what you won't accept. So let's go through the slides, shall we? So the idea is we're going to actually teach you how to fish and not give you the fish. So I'm going to take you through the strategies that's going to allow you to see the strategy, the process under the results that we're going to give. So it's not just duplication and giving you templates and everything else as well, because I want you to be able to pass this knowledge onto others, as well as have a deeper understanding as well. So when I was growing up, you know, my dad loved fishing, but I remember a very great saying out there was it if you feed people fish and you feed them for one day, you teach them to fish and they live forever. So I'm going to teach you how to fish. So enjoy, because when I was growing up, I couldn't even take the fish off the damn hook. I was so scared of it. So we're going to teach you how to fish throughout the training. And we're also going to teach you how to use some ways that you're not reinventing the wheel, that you're actually going to see what's working out there, because you have a choice to be the pioneer or the settler. Now, the pool pioneer, they're the people who create the path, the people who are the first person to explore something. It reminds me back with the Cowboys and Indians. The pool pioneer gets all the Indians shooting arrows at them. They got all these arrows in their back, and the hardest job is being a pioneer. So that takes a long time, and there's not always success along their way. So I'd rather be the settler, where the pioneer's already been in there, they've established the ground, they've established the awareness, and I come in and I do it better than what they do it, and I reap the rewards that way. So the option is yours. You can be the pioneer with the Indians and the arrows in your back, doing it the hard way, or you become the settler that looks at what's working and looks at the gap and looks at how can I improve this? How can I make it better? And the other thing is we're going to look at all the elements that are important to have on your banner. So all the components of your banner that's going to create a high profit generating a Facebook group for you. So let's get into that. So when we go into the elements to put on our banner, there's a few things we need to be aware of, and we need to gather these assets together. And one is you need to have a very professional photo. I mean, you know, everyone who's professional needs to have a good professional photo. So a professional photo is something that's really open, you're really inviting. It could be a headshot or a full body shot, but usually there's not much in the background. It's, you're the center. You're the center of the masterpiece. You know, if you haven't got one of those done, and you're going to get some professional photos done for you, I would do one headshot that looks really good, and I would also do a full length pose that looks really good as well. So when you do a full length pose, when you're standing, it's always better as far as, I suppose, better looking for the body if you're standing on an angle, or you're standing side on than standing straight face on as well. So if you haven't got a professional photo done, find out who can do that for you and organise them, and then we can use them with heaps of your marketing. I'm all through everything that you do, your blogging, everything that you do, you can put a professional photo on there as well. So I would have a face shot, a head shot, and a full body shot. When you actually do find a professional to do it for you, cheap is not always the best. Ask them once the photos are taken, do they do any professional touch-up or add any extra visual effects and things like that as well. The other thing is we need to call out our audience. So that means we've already gone through our avatar and our market. So on your banner, there will be something to call out your audience so they know exactly they're in the right place. And I'll be going through all of this and explaining that in more detail when I do the walkthrough with you. I'll pull up my banner and I'll use it as an example and explain to you in more detail as well. We also need to put a button on our banners, and that's going to help you use your banner for two ways. You can use your banner so when they click on it, the description comes up and the URL for your Facebook group is there. But if they're sitting on your Facebook group, I'd probably, with that banner, I would probably put a lead magnet or your free gift. I would probably say, click here, grab your free monthly guide or PDF or whatever, and I would be doing that approach, because there's no point them clicking on the banner if they're already on the URL already. So that's something to think about as well. So the banner description has URL, and the optional having the free gift a button there as well. And we need to have arrows. Arrows really make it obvious. It's like, click here, so nobody can actually miss it. So there's no misinterpretation. So as I said, during the walkthrough, we'll go through those. And this is the most important step not to forget. Now, we know from our research and our marketing stats, about 80% of people use their mobile phone to scroll through Facebook, not desktop. So a lot of people, if they're traveling, from school, or they're traveling to work or whatever, they're actually using their mobile phone. So whatever pages you do, and this goes with everything, all your marketing, everything that you do on Facebook, you need to view it on mobile phone and maybe iPad. iPad doesn't get used as much, but mobile phone definitely, your website and also iPad would be great options to do. So when I develop a page or anything, or do any changes, I view it on my desktop because there's a responsive mobile I suppose display on there as well. But then I always still double check it on my mobile phone anyway. I've been caught out so many times it not looking right, because as I said, that's where most of your audience will be hanging out, on mobile phone. We're also going to go through the group settings. So I'm going to teach you what are the group settings that you need to have so that, one, you keep a safe group, and two, you can screen and monitor and capture email addresses and information which you will be able to repurpose and use with your emailing list as well. It's really important to capture as much of the email addresses as you can and bring them across to your own email list. The reason why we do that is because if Facebook ever changes their conditions or their rules, or they ever shut down, I don't know if they ever do that, but if you haven't got the asset, if it's sitting on a different platform, a third-party platform, then if you lose access to that platform, or if any rules change, you will lose all of your database. You'll lose all your contacts. So for me, I'm always, if I give away any resource, people have to give me their email address. If they don't give me my email address, they just don't get it. So as I said, it's about having those expectations. I'm happy to teach live, throw lives in there, throw lots of information in there, but if they want to get to really juicy parts, the really stuff that where they'll learn and be educated in, then I want their email address in return. As I said, we're going to walk through using Canva. I don't know if you've ever used Canva before. It's an amazing design product, which is really easy to do. There's so much stuff out there today that you don't need to be a graphic designer to create some really gorgeous designs. And we'll be designing our banners using Canva. And again, it'll be a walkthrough process where you can stop the video, pause it, jump over to your tab in your group, implement that part, come back, restart, pause it, and come back. And also I suppose the beauty of having it recorded is that you can go back and review if you get stuck and go through those steps as well. Most of the clients that I work with, and even with myself, it works really good to actually pause, implement, come back, do another section, pause and implement. I find that's a lot better than trying to watch the whole video and then trying to remember all the steps. But it's completely up to you as your learning style, as how you input data and how you want to use that. We're also going to create a compelling group description. So that's almost like about, the description, it's like almost like our bio, or it's almost like, this is what we stand for. And this is where you're going to bring in some of your elements from your rally cry. You know how you did rally cry in session 1? And also, you're also going to bring in some of your pain points as well in your description. So when we got a description, we want to look at firstly having a purpose, having a big why, explaining the big picture of what the group is all about. Because remembering with our target audience, we want to get people who are aligned with your value system and the way that the group is going to move forward. We don't want people who are against it. We want people who are supporting and going forward. We also, I'm going to show you how you can actually check other groups out. Who are your competitors? How do they name their group? Now, is there a word that you like that you could take and reorganize the words around? It's not reinventing the wheel, but we don't want to duplicate. So it's about modeling, not just duplicating and plagiarizing. It's about using their ideas and their concepts and changing it to adjust so it fits into the group name that we're drawn to. So remembering the group name has to be part of the call out of the people who you want to actually invite into your group. We're also going to use a lot of emojis because today emojis are in. People like emojis. When I was growing up, there was no emojis running around, but today I noticed that people are drawn to visual. They're drawn to unique characters and things like that. So again, it's a marketing strategy to put emojis in there as well. And it's very important that whenever you do blogs or you post a block of text, that you put paragraphs in there. So to put a paragraph in there, because some people, they don't know how to do it, and that's why they don't do it. Because when we're posting, not so much we're posting, probably more when we're commenting. When we're commenting, if we hit the enter key to get our tab down to the next line, it actually stops it finishes the process. But if you hold your shift down and enter at the same time, you'll be able to put spaces in there on your comments as well, because we want to have white space between short paragraphs. Otherwise, it becomes too overwhelming and people just don't read it. It's too hard It's too hard on the eyes not to have that white space. Then we want to also use our keyword phrases. Remember, we're going to go back to keywords everywhere. So everything's coming in, everything's being used, and we're going to start to type down, maybe some keyword phrases. And we're looking for people who search the highest research number. So we can throw those keyword phrases in amongst our description as well. Then we want to also set your expectations and your rules in your group as well. So I am very strict about external links. I don't want people who come to my group for the wrong reason. So I want people to come with the group because they want to learn from me, they want to grow their business, and they want to help out the tribe. I don't want people coming to my group just to take clients for themselves and actually dump and run in my group. So I'm pretty protective around that, but I make it very clear in my rules. And as you see when we go through the questions, I even have a question they have to answer, and that is, do you agree to the rules? So everyone has to say yes. Again, if people don't actually respond to those questions, they just don't come into my group. And then we also want a call to action at the end. What call to action is, join our group, click below. It's telling people, it's directing people what to do next. What's the next step? I think very much a lot of people are used to being directed, and that they like to have a leader who's firm and directs and takes charge of the group as well. And then at the same time, when we walk through putting all that together, I'll also be doing the walkthrough of the activity sheets again. So I'm going to change my screens over, and I'll be back very soon, and we'll go through the walkthrough and get everything set up for you in your group today. Talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, guys, let's go through our walkthrough sheet. First, we'll look at our activity form, shall we? So this is our group setup to create our group high converting Facebook group. So first of all, we want you to look at the video as normally, complete this activity sheet that I'm showing you now, create your Facebook business page. So I want you to create your Facebook business page as well. So if you haven't got a page, I'll walk through that as well on the walkthrough, and I'll show you how to do that as well. Create your Facebook page banner for your group, and also your Facebook business page group as well. Complete the group setups as per the walkthrough video. We're going to write your description for your group. That's the first version. You'll be modifying and changing that as you go through, and as you get more clarity, you will make those adjustments there as well. And then we want to go then to our normal community, posting a Facebook Live as usual, and also use the hashtag group part 1 done. So it's all finished. So here are some examples of other groups, URLs, and click on them. I want you just to have a look at the design, look at the banner. We're going to talk to you very soon in another walkthrough on what elements that you need there, but just have a look at the way people do banners, and also do some research yourself. So just spend some time, go around different groups and look at the ones that you like. What type of design do you like? And then you can create the design, and then you can create the elements on top that's necessary. So do that, go through, start to notice what's something in common that they have. For example, is it a very clean background, or do you have a picture background? I personally myself like a clean background, so just like a solid colour, because I like my information to pop. I don't want to be distracted by a background picture or things, but that's a personal preference. So completely up to you what you want to do with that. And then when you create your group description template, just some tips. Making sure you call out the right person in the group that you want to become a member of yours. Use emojis everywhere. We know people like that. Here's a URL that you can grab hold, pdr.org. Has lots and lots of emojis for you to use. Ensure you use that white space between paragraphs. Use your bullet points to stand out, special characters. And at the bottom, we have a call to action at the bottom as well. So I'll put in here an example of my my description, so you can use that as a template. But guys, don't just copy it. It'd be pretty weird if you started seeing all my descriptions running around everywhere. Use it as a template, use it as a model, use your keywords for your specific industry, and make sure that some of those keywords are in there as well. So let me jump over to our Facebook and we'll get into our walkthrough of getting you set up in your Facebook, shall we? So as you know, I've just created a new Facebook group, which I haven't filled anything in it yet. So let me just pull that up. Groups. Let's have a look. Groups I'm in. Probably can't find it. There it is, Tribal Secrets. Okay. So last session, you created your group. It should look like this. You've got no banner in. You've got no settings, except all you've done is create the name. So all the changes we're going to make in the setup is under the More here. Click on More. Then go to then go to Edit Group Settings. So Edit Group Settings. Once you're in your Edit Group Settings, you should have your group name there that you've already created. This is where you'll copy and paste your description. So remember, you've got to use the emojis, you're going to have white space, and you're going to copy and paste and put your description in there. Make sure you save it as well at the bottom of the page. I have a tendency sometimes not to save it, but I always like to keep a backup copy anyway filed in my folders, in my documents anyway. So your location, I don't really worry about my location. The reason why I don't is because I'm worldwide. So I'm not sure if you can select worldwide. No, you can't. So I don't put anything there because I don't want to be limited to any location because we're an online business. So I don't really worry too much about that. We'll talk about tags in a minute. So tags are tags that people will often search on you to look at some tags. So I do business coaching. So I might put a tag here when it lets me. What's happening there? Hang on. Technology. There's something running in the background that's slowing my computer down. I'm recording, that's probably why. Okay, so when we do our tags there, just see if it lets me. It's just a bit slow today, doesn't let me. We'll come back to there. I can choose a color. So if I choose color, I can choose whatever color I want to have my group is. So I might go, that's a nice color. So I like that color. Now, we don't want to link, please, we do not link our Facebook page with our group. The reason why we don't link our Facebook page of our group is because at the moment we're not doing Facebook ads. So if you link your Facebook group to your Facebook page to your group, then Facebook will actually restrict your outreach to your members because they want you to pay for paid advertising. So what they'll do is they'll go, oh, this person's a business person. They're not just a community group, they're business. So we've got to restrict their outreach so that they pay money. So the only time you would link your Facebook page with your group is if you're paying for paid advertising on Facebook, because that's a paid service and you want them to see your page as well as your group. So do not link your group there at all. Now your web address. So what happens here is you can type in your web address. So if I'm up here, you've got Facebook groups. So I just put the name in. So I think it was Tribal Secrets. Tribal Secrets. Okay. That's all I need to do. There's no spaces. There's no special characters. They're just, this one here. So it says here the alias is already assigned. Please use another one. So I've already done this exercise. I just realised there because underneath there. So let's go Tribal Building Secrets. Okay. Only one alphabet and can be supported. Tribal building secrets. Only alphabetical characters can be supported. What have I done? Let's try one more time. Tribal building secrets. Likes it. Voila, I have it. So then I customize it. So now it'll come up here, up top URL. It'll have something that's your actual name there. So just having numbers and figures. So then I want to have the group visible. Anyone can find this group. We're going to hide it. I don't worry too much about badges. We want to be able to post topics. Now, we don't want membership. Yes, we do want social learning units. So you may want to put social learning units in there. So you do add, and that'll bring social units in there. Okay? So now you'll find that the group type here will have to change to social learning. See social learning? So we'll have to change that to social learning because we've got to give them units. Okay? So now we've got a group. We've got our group. It's going to, group type is social learning. Discussion, we got the description in there. We'll just type that in there. Remember, copy and paste. Location is open. Haven't done tags yet. We don't want to use any of the features and tools at the moment. Nothing there. Choose your color. Web address. Type in your web address. Customize it. Cancel, get out. Yep. Then we want a private group. So we want a private. So we don't want it open. We want a private group. The reason why we want a private group is we want to be able to approve them to actually come into a group. And also it makes them show commitment and it keeps the group safe. So the spammers and everyone else can't get in there because if you delete them, they won't come back. Okay. Then we want anyone in the group can, visible, anyone in the group can find this group. Then we want no way about posts, that's okay. Mentorship's okay. We've got units now. So we've got units hooked in there now. Now, membership approval. Put that to admin only and moderators because you want to be able to stop them coming in automatically and you want to approve them. So you'll need to go through, and we'll go through a next session of how you're going to monitor and approve people coming on board. Membership pre-approvals, don't worry about that. Membership requests, yes. So this is where you want to ask questions. So we want to ask 3 questions in here. So you're going to add your questions. So question 1, and I'll give you a copy of my questions as well. So whatever, will you abide by the rules? Okay, so they're going to answer that. Then we add another one. So we can add up to 3. So the second one could be something about tell us some of your challenges. Okay, so this one here, will you abide by our rules? Add an option. What are some challenges you are currently experiencing around online courses? Could be launching online. Because you put in yours, whatever your industry is. And the last one, this is where you want to grab their email address. So you put in something like, do you want to know how to generate more lead, do you want to know how to, do you want to have free resources to build your online courses? Please add email only. Okay, so you want to catch their email, then we'll put in there. So it looks like, we got a bit more. We got 4. Okay, so they've changed. So now there's not a limit of 3, I didn't realise it. There's more. So you just keep on going through and just add whatever questions that you want and things like that as well. So we'll just exit out of that. So we've got our questions, and now we can also type in our rules. So we create our rules, and we can start to type in the rules, and there's some examples that you can use. So you want to get started, and then you write your rules, okay? So you can get your rules from your description and just write in that. So the first one could be respect others within the community. So the scriptures there demonstrate respect of others' ideas and perspectives. No hate, mail or bullying allowed, or something like that. Okay, so I'll create my first rule, and then I'll create my second rule. Create rule, and I go for I can use one of use one of these as well. So if I want to, I can copy and paste. For example, I can use that. It's already in there, and I create it, and I can confirm it. So I can use some of the guidelines, but I'm going to create my rules in here as well. So now I've got my rules created. All right, so now I'll go back to more, group settings. So now I've got my social learning, I've got everything done. I come down here, I've got my rules, I've got my questions asked as well. Membership requests from pages, allow pages to request to join your members. I don't allow any pages to join my group, okay? I don't want pages, I want individuals. So I go no. Posting permissions, anyone in the group can post. I would only go admin if I had certain people who were spamming, or I'd get rid of them. So leave it as it is, anyone in the group can post. Okay, keyword alerts, you can put in if someone uses any, I suppose, any words that you like. If you don't like swearing, for example, and they start using that sort of words or whatever, you type that in here and you'll be alerted when people start to use those words. And then you'll hit save. Don't forget the save, and all that's finished. So now you've got all your setup done for your group at this stage. That's all we need. So now what we're going to do is now we want to create a banner for you now. So we're going to go over to Canva, canva.com. Okay, now Facebook group is a different size to Facebook cover. So if you've got a free version of Canva, so you log in, you create a free version, you'll have to create the custom dimension over here. See the custom dimension over here, and round circles. So I click on that and I put it in dimensions for the Facebook banner, group banner. To find what those dimensions are, because again, Facebook is always changing, I simply have to go to Google. I go Facebook group banner size. So what do I do? Facebook group banner size. And then I'll look at this and you'll see the banner size is 1640 by 856. So 1640. Go back to Canva. Type it in here, 1640 by 856. Goes up here, 856. So now create design. So now I have my design. I can start creating my design. So using Canva, very easy. If you want a background color, just gonna play with it, guys. Background color, you click on background. The palette should come up. Let's have a look. Palettes up here, and then you can select a color. I have my corporate colors loaded up there, so that's my corporate background. Then I'll come back, and then I can upload logos, my photos, anything I want to upload. I can drag it and drop it. I can also create a template. So if I want to have a template, for example, I like to actually have a template, to be honest with you, then I can change the background, the colours, because I like the writing. So I might go, okay, I like that template. I'm going to use that template, okay? You see that? So I've got the templates, but what I'm after is this font size. So now I can actually hop onto the background if I want to, and I can delete the background here. I can delete it. So I can delete anything. And I can also put in a background here, and then here, because of the font color, I highlight it, yeah, play around with it, change the color to white so it'll stand out. So I can start playing with it and changing around and putting designs and putting buttons, elements here. You know, you can put things like buttons. So if you want a button to click here, click on buttons. The buttons come in. There's free versions, but also the paid versions are only about $1, so not very expensive. So I can play with my photo. I can play with the design, the fonts, play around with it. All right, so I create all of this in Canva by simply dropping and dragging. And then, you know, text, what add in text. You type in text. Again, you click on text and I can add more text. Then I can drop and drag and move around and, you know, all that sort of thing as well. So the elements that you want to make sure that you put in there is, one, you've done a bit of a survey or looked around other banners and like the designs that you like. But these are the elements that you need to have in your group banner. So let me pull it up for you. So you need to have, see how this is I call out the people I'm looking for. So it's very much about people can see straight away that, oh, if I'm involved in online courses, this is the right group for me. So you play around with the colours. You want it to pop. You want it to kind of pop. So the colouring, the contrast needs to pop and not just blend in. I put my logo up there. And again, join my free Facebook tribe. Click on to join the button here. So here I'm pointing down to the guys to go, hey, this is where you join. This is where you apply to join here. So that comes on there as well. So they're on my group here. But if I want to, I could also click on this. And this is where I put my description and my URL. Now, if I want to, remember I said you may not want to put your group description here because they're already on that page. So you may want to go grab your free gift or something like that and move the button up a little bit. Keep the arrows there for join. But if you've got enough space, you may look at the layout, see what it looks like. You may have something like grab your free gift here. And then when they click on it, you'll have a different URL which will take them to the place where they can download their free gift. So all of that happens in there, okay? That's on your Facebook group page. So see, it's not too complicated. Just look at the design, make sure it looks professional, make sure your picture looks good, and then don't forget to test it on mobile as well. Always test on mobile. So now we've got our banner done, and we've also got all of our description done. We've got units. We're going to bring units in. We've gone right through and we've created all the settings. Now, when we're doing our Facebook page, again, kind of similar, but mine's a little bit different because I want a bit of something a bit differently. So here I've got here, join our free Facebook tribe. Click here. Where they click here, this is when you're going to direct them to the URL of your Facebook group. See on here? I take them to launch your online courses there. Okay. And here you want to set up Messenger. We'll talk about that later. Don't worry about that yet. But on here, go through, look at the about. Just make sure it's all clean and everything else as well. As I said, I don't use my page much, but I do post in there once in a while because when I do want to use Facebook ads later down the track, I haven't got an empty shell. And, people can see that I've been active and that I've been motivated and that I'm a true business as well. So I think that's it. I think we've covered the Canva, we've covered the group settings. You understand you've created your group name already, so you've searched around that and got that. You ought to look at your design, and then you put your description in. So once you've done all of that, and also your questions too, guys, and I'll make sure I include the questions for you. I'll add that onto the activity sheet so you've got the template of those questions as well. So good luck, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.